Booyakabunga is how we're starting this one off here, guys. Season 5. I have been so rejuvenated in this series, all thanks to our good friend TMNT Dare Talk Christian. We've been breaking down these episodes for you piece by piece. Every episode that we run on this podcast breaks it down by season. And just like when we did the 2003 series, Christian, just when you thought this show couldn't get any better, it did. I can't believe it. So when you heard the first time, before knowing what was going to happen, you just heard Tales of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. What were your opening thoughts when you heard that for the last season?
Yeah, of course, my first thoughts were on the comic book, because Tales of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is such an iconic title. So I thought, okay, what's it gonna be? And I mean, it really made sense if you think about the season, because we really get Tales of the TMNT. Like, the big storyline is over with season 4, but now we got some more tales to tell, and it really works. It really works. But I thought it was interesting that the newest TV show that came after the Mutant Mayhem movie is also called Tales of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Like, okay, I like the title, but it's getting used over and over and over again. But yeah, I mean, here it's totally fine. It totally works. It brings back memories of the comics, but in its own style. Here in this universe.
And they just had so much fun. Again, we said these guys were fans themselves. They had to be of the original Ninja Turtles. And you're going to see that once again in this season. I know it tickles Christian's fancy with this humongous horror with October coming up next month. I don't know if you watch these every October, but I wouldn't blame you if you did. These were phenomenal episodes. We get our good bunny friend coming in on the scene here later. We've got some more, comebacks with the OG Turtles. A phenomenal voice actor is here and actor in the first episode, which I never thought in my wildest dreams he'd be here. But in this series, why the bleep not? We've had everybody else. We've had Jesse Ventura, among other people, Lewis Black. Feel free to take it away, Christian, with the first episode. And are you kidding me, voice actor?
Yeah, I mean, we can start off with our main guest in this storyline, which is the one and only Mark Hamill, and he is so good. Here in the storyline, which starts with Scroll of the Demo Dragon, the Turtles find out that Shredder is dead, but Tiger Claw has created like an underground cult of Shredder worshippers, and he wants to bring the Shredder back from the dead. And for this, he summons a Demo Dragon called Cavaxes, who is voiced by Mark Hamill. Yes, the Joker himself, Luke Skywalker himself, the fantastic Mark Hamill. And the Turtles confront this dragon who is controlled by Tiger Claw because he's got this seal. And so the cult, the Foot Clan cult, they have the body of the Shredder, but they need other parts to complete the Shredder so that Cavaxes can resurrect him. I mean, at first, Cavaxes even resurrects Raza, who was really dead, as it seems. He died from drowning with during his fight with Leatherhead last season. And so the Turtles confront Cavaxes for the first time, and he's just so powerful and so unstoppable. And Turtles like, the Turtles find out that it's gonna be a problem. And one funny thing is that in one scene, Michelangelo calls Cavaxes Hothead. Nice little callback there.
Yes.
But yeah, nice little starter for the first storyline that we get here.
Oh, I agree. And as you know, I am a huge Tiger Claw fan, so it's pretty cool. He's pretty much running the show now, and the henchmen, they're listening to him too. I thought it was great. Tiger Claw still being a threat, I thought was really cool, and I just couldn't believe Mark Hamill. This guy is everywhere. Huge in the Joker of the Batman the Animated Series. I'm a huge Kingdom Hearts fan, and he was in my video game in Birth by Sleep. He was one of the main, senseis, if you want to call it, with the Keyblade wielders. He just delivers that dark, grim, just oozing when you hear his voice. You just know you have to stop whatever you're doing and focus and listen, because whatever you hear is either going to get you angry, he just captures all the emotions: anger, joy, fear. Whatever he wants, he'll command us to do pretty much. And so, what were your thoughts on this character? I thought it was great. Again, a fresh, pretty much a breath of fresh air without Shredder. The 2003 series did that for a while too, and I enjoyed it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Cavaxis is really a great addition to this. Yeah, to this world. He's really evil. You can feel it. He's like, yeah, I'm serving you, Tiger Claw, for now. And yeah, I like his design. He looks really menacing, really creepy. And one thing that we forgot to mention is that I wanted to ask you is because we get a new theme song here with this season. What are your thoughts on this theme song? What do you like it?
I swear to God, we must be brothers from another mother, because I was going to ask you the exact same thing right after this, because I had this down in my notes yesterday. There are certain theme songs, in this day and age, everybody binges on Netflix. Now, if you had your VHS tape, you could hit the fast forward button, but I usually didn't. So theme songs you never skip: the original Ninja Turtles song, the X-Men theme song, Go Go Power Rangers, and pretty much any theme song in this Ninja Turtle atmosphere from 1987 to right here 2012. I told you I liked the Back from the Sewers in the 2003 show. This one is just like, it's almost like it feels similar to Broadway, just with the lights and the trumpets, and it's almost like I don't know if American football is popular with you, but those college bands where they're just booming with tons and tons of people in there. That's kind of what I get in this vibe. I love it from start to finish. It captivates me. It gets me pumped for the show. How about you?
Oh, absolutely. I'm a really big fan of this theme song because it's got this, as you said, the visuals. They're so cool with also with the darkness and the shadows and all this fast cuts and the music. It's got like this jazzy feeling. You know what it really reminds me of? It reminds me of the theme song from Cowboy Bebop, the anime.
Oh yes,
which is one of the best theme songs ever, and it gets me so hyped up to hear. It's like, okay, it gets me so pumped. I'm a big fan of the theme song. I really like it because there are almost no words. It's mostly this jazzy music, and it's really so fast. It really is so cool. I really like this.
Yeah, it's pretty much like, hey, look, we're the main event now. We know it, and we're giving it to you this way. And just again, how can a show just keep excelling? And again, for Turtles, many, anime, if you're a big anime guy, animes generally get one season, maybe two, and then if you're good, you can climb into 3 and 4. If you're a one in a zillion, like a Dragon Ball Z or a Pokemon, that's a whole different story. But all these shows so far, I mean, we've had 10 seasons in the 87 series. I want to say close to 6 or 7. I think in 2003, I might be off one if you count Fast Forward and Back from the Sewers.
7. 7, yeah.
Okay, it was 7. So 10, 7, and 5. That's a long life for a show, especially when Mark Friedman said in the Turtles documentary when he was, doing this, they were kind of saying, basically you're going to have 3 years. You're going to have your intro year, a booming year, and then your closeout year. And the Turtles just thrive, survive, and they continue to get creative. So... And I think you're right, and I think that also comes into your question is the theme song. They want every season to be fresh, like it's a brand new show.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
and it really feels like this. Really feels like we're telling you more stories from this world, and you really get the feeling like, okay, so some tales, because this is Tales of the TMNT. These are the same turtles, but some more stories, like, okay, like a plus season.
Oh yeah, and there's at least a couple of these are top teners for me, but one in particular when we get to it a little down the line, I definitely was hyped, and to me that's what Tales of the Turtles is all about. So coming up next, though, we get more of our buddy Mr. Mark Hamill with his voice act. He's here for a while, folks.
Yeah, next episode is the Forgotten Swordsman, which is more about the Foot Clan, because, Karai is still there, and she wants to really, after the death of Shredder, she wants to really rebuild the Foot Clan to be not this criminal organization. And she's got Shredder's helmet, the Kuro Kabuto, and this is what's needed for the resurrection of Shredder. so there's this confrontation because there's another part coming to New York, and that is Hattori Tatsu. Yes, Tatsu version of in this world, and he was an old master of the Foot Clan, and he confronts Karai because he says that she should not be the real heir to the Foot Clan, to the Shredder, and they have this confrontation there for the Kuro Kabuto. But and by the way, Tatsu is blind here, so he's like the blind swordsman, really, which gives us some really cool action scenes, some really great scenes between Turtles, Karai, and Tatsu. Because, as I said, he's blind, but he's like moving this. He can hear everything, very Daredevil-like. And well, in the end, Cavaxis comes in. Is like, okay, party's over. He grabs Tatsu, he drains him of his life force, kills him. Yeah, we really see on-screen death once again. This show doesn't stop to surprise me. And they grab the helmet of the Shredder and they fly off. So yeah, they have another puzzle piece for Shredder's resurrection in the end.
Yeah, and I enjoyed Tatsu in this one. I thought it was cool, too. Again, this show just loves parodies. Do you remember the spot where Mikey is in his Ghostbuster backpack and stuff? In this couple episodes? Dude, they just throw him everywhere. Great job with Tatsu. What's interesting to me, and I'm pretty sure you probably feel the same way because we usually are on the same page, I'm happy they kept him the same, but I wouldn't have been surprised if they changed him. Like we talked about before, Bishop looks different among other characters. I know now he's blind technically. He wasn't blind in the movies, but what were your thoughts how they kept Tatsu pretty much like his movie avatar?
Yeah, as you said, he pretty much looks like Toshihiro Obata, the actor from the movies. And yeah, I mean, just look at like what they did with Han. They were totally changed his character. But here they pretty much kept him the way he was, besides the blindness thing. But I was really, I was really surprised that they got Tatsu in this show. But as I said, this series never stops to amaze me, to surprise me. But just to see Tatsu back again, he was never really used after the movies, and so like as you said, the creators of this show, they're really fans. They know their turtle stuff. They're like, hey, Tatsu, he can fit in here. Let's bring Tatsu back, and so they did. And really cool as always.
Yeah, and was this the first season of Booyah Kabunga being born? I didn't mind it. I thought it was kind of cool he meshed both franchises together.
Yeah, could be. Yeah, you could be right.
Okay.
I'm not sure, yeah. But
yeah, because that was in my notes. I'm like, Booyah Kabunga, that sounds... first, you had to say Booyah Kasha first, but now it's like it's 5 years in. Let's throw them both in. Why not? So, it works for me. Time to go with the Heart of Evil.
Yeah, there's one thing missing from Shredder's body to complete him, and that is his heart. And his heart is in the hands of Don Vicioso, the gangster, the very big gangster. And so, yeah, everyone is after him to get it because Don Vicioso wants to eat the heart, like to get the strength of the Shredder, like, yeah, whatever. And so there's this big three-way fight once again. Don Vicioso, the Turtles, and on the other hand, we have Cavaxis, Tiger Claw. But Donatello even has his own agenda because he's still mad at Don Vicioso. He goes after him to finally finish him off because the last time he was captured by him and almost like killed by his gangsters. But in the end, he comes back to his senses and does not kill him. But yeah, unfortunately, in the end, Tiger Claw and Cavaxis get their hands on the heart of Shredder, and now they have everything to bring the Shredder back to life. Yes.
Now, is that, this is right up your alley, but I wrote again, holy cow, this is really pushing the envelope as these Ninja Turtles shows do with freakiness. And Oh my God! When we start talking about Shredder, I know this is up your alley. I think you're like the old Siskel and Ebert, 2 thumbs up, way up for a scary Shredder here. But oh man, is this dark? So I believe we can go right into the next episode here with End Times.
Yeah.
Whew.
Yeah, this is the finale of this story, and what a finale it is! Because the Shredder gets resurrected, but he's a zombie. Let's say it like that. He's really a zombie, and well, Tiger Claw too late finds out that the Shredder is pretty much controlled or under the control of Cavaxis because he's the one who resurrected him, and so it's like Cavaxis was like having his own agenda. Like he wants to take control of the city, and but then the seal that Tiger Claw uses gets destroyed, and so Cavaxis is free of his control, and he's like creating like this rifts where ghosts come through, and he's flooding the city with ghost creatures, including Ho Jan, as we remember, the ghost guy, and Splinter also comes back, and the turtles, they get their Ghostbuster stuff on, and they're fighting the ghosts, and it's really craziness. They're fighting Cavaxis, they're fighting Tiger Claw, they're fighting the zombie Shredder, and in the end, Michelangelo is the one who's able to stop Cavaxis because with some bubblegum, he repairs the seal to control Cavaxis, and he's like, stop this, bring everything back to normal. And so Cavaxis does. And Shredder and also Raza get thrown back into the afterlife. Fishface, by the way, he's like, okay, this is too freaky for me. I'm going back to Brazil. I'm out of here. Bye, guys. Last time we see him. So in the end, Cavaxis goes back to his own demon hellverse, and everything's back to normal. The turtles can say goodbye to Splinter one final time, and even Tiger Claw says, okay, I'm out of here. This he's having a truce with the turtles now. So that's pretty much the end of that story, and it's really a nice epilogue to the whole Foot Clan story. Like, okay, one final storyline here, one final story, and as I said, Cavaxis was really cool. Like, hey, I'm just doing my own thing, and with the whole ghost stuff, and it was really nice to see Splinter one more time, and the turtles in the end like, okay, it's a new day, who knows what the future will bring, but for now the Foot Clan is out, is done, and so great ending of this storyline.
And 2 things for me here is this Michelangelo might make my top 5 in this series I'm doing with ranking best turtles, because yes, he's not a nincompoop. He's not an idiot in this show. He shines in this series a couple times with his knowledge based on his fandoms, which we're going to talk about later. I mean, the bubblegum thing, he's like, he owned him for a while. I thought that was great. And the other funny thing I did have to just put in my notes is when they're talking about Michelangelo meeting Megan Fox, and he's like, on that rooftop. So they just love playing with the turtle verses too. They just love throwing these jokes, and the jokes are so well timed in this show from season 1 all the way to season 5, which is very challenging to do. There are people who love to laugh, but in my opinion, there's a right way and wrong way to joke, and they just hit the nail on the head. They knocked it out of the park once again. And now it's time to get a little lovey-dovey here with Raphael's character development, I believe, with some feels of his own here in When Worlds Collide. A nice 2-parter.
Yeah, cool 2-parter here. The neutralizer comes back. Once again, they're like finishing up the storylines that were left, because the last time we saw the neutralizer, he was like stuck between dimensions. We didn't know what's happening to him, but now he's back, and he's got these new powers, like these electric powers, and he's going after the turtles for revenge. And Mona Lisa and the Cell Commander, they appear on Earth, and which makes, of course, Raphael very happy. And Michelangelo gets zapped by the neutralizer, but he's not destroyed. He comes back, but now he's got like these superpowers, like this electric superpowers where he can like really like fly really fast and have this electricity powers. He reminds me with his powers like super fast and stuff. It reminds me of the Flash. Really cool, really cool. But then it goes really crazy when suddenly Neutralizer's new partner appears, who turns out to be none other than Drake. Yeah, Drake is once again back. He does not stay dead. He comes back with his spaceship, attacks New York City, and it's really crazy. So everyone, it's like a big fight, like big sci-fi invasion fight there in New York City. And yeah, in the end, the Drake spaceship gets destroyed with Neutralizer and Drake inside. Michelangelo loses his powers again, but Mona Lisa says that she will stay on Earth now because she wants to stay close to Raphael, which is really nice. And so, yeah, cool little space invasion story there.
And I really love how they have more character development for Raph. Yeah, he could be the hard ass, the tough guy, but deep down he cares just as much, if not more, than any of the other turtles. He's raising pets in this show. He cares for a girl. I love his character development, and again with Michelangelo here, no, don't do it, because they were blasting him to take his powers away, and he's like, hold on, guys, wait. I just love that they did him so good in this series. Oh man. And now somebody they've gotten done. They are 3 for 3 in these first 3 animated shows: 1987, 2003, and now 2012. We get one of our favorite samurai bunnies back. It's almost, I don't know how I'm trying to like find a comparison here, Christian, of who he is like, because it's pretty much now I'm just going to use this example because I can't think of anybody else. I know people don't like him now, so please don't comment on the person, but it's just a comparison. I was a big wrestling fan growing up, and there would be episodes where Vince McMahon's coming, and you always tuned in to watch because this is when he was the boss with Stone Cold, and you had to watch to see what was happening. And with Usagi, I feel it's the same way, because at this time he was so special. He may have ran dry if he was in every episode, every week, or every season, but since he's so iconic and he's not in many episodes, every time they have him, they are just so good. These are so violent and so action-packed from start to finish. Feel free to take it away however you want to break it down. We can break them down episodically or all in one, because to me it feels like it's a continuation. And oh my god, what a fantastic, what a debut, and just everything with this guy. Take it away.
Oh, absolutely. Okay, so I'm gonna jump through the episodes here because, as you said, it's a 3-parter. First episode is called Yojimbo. In this episode, the turtles, they are transported by a mystic guy called Jay to Miyamoto Usagi's world, and they go after Usagi at first because they're under the control of Jay, but yeah, as it usually is, they turn out to be on the same side. They're the partners, so they start working together. And because Usagi has to bodyguard this little dog guy, the dog kid, who is really annoying.
Yes.
But it's said that he can be very powerful in the future, and so yeah, they're on this journey together, and it's just so wonderful. The turtles in Usagi's world, it's just so cool. I'm such a big fan of this, and after this story, I was like, I need Usagi Yojimbo show right now, just in this style. It's just so cool. Usagi is really great. He's such a great fighter, but he's also so calm. And yeah, well, to the next episode, which is called Osoroshi no Tabi. The turtles, they go through like this haunted forest where there's like these tanukis who are causing mayhem, and they have some mystical adventures with like a giant spider lady and so on and so forth, and they come through with it. I mean, one of the best scenes in this is when Usagi like pulls out a carrot and Raph's like, "What's up, dog?" That was just great.
Again, well-timed comedy. They just know how to do their jokes.
Perfect. Yeah, absolutely. And then which brings us to the last episode of the storyline, Kagayake Kintaro, where they reach the temple on a mountain, where Kintaro, the little dog guy, is supposed to go, and but Jay is already there, and they have this big fight, and in the end, like Kintaro finds his powers, like he's like the golden kid. He's like this got his mystical powers to confront Jay, and he's also like, okay, now I understand. I don't have to be like this annoying little kid anymore. And they fight. And in the end, Usagi, kills Jay. We really see like this little skull symbol, like from the Usagi Yojimbo comics. Every time you see like this skull symbol, you know, okay, that guy's dead. And so nice callback there. And the turtles, they get transported back to their world, and Usagi goes on the next adventure, goes on his next journey, and it's just the whole feeling of this whole storyline. It feels like just the ending. When you see like the end in Japanese, it feels like a samurai movie. And it's really, I really, at the end of this, I was like, I need more Usagi Yojimbo in my life.
Yep.
This was just so perfect. I'm a big fan of this three-parter.
Yep, I agree, and I'm very glad that we're on the same page once again, because you do say the Pug character is annoying. I feel we could have done without him. What I did like about this is at least the Turtles played it off like he ain't so special, and they were all making fun of him, like, hey, quit being a cocky kid, because just for me, I understand it's a kid show, and sometimes it's cool to have those kid characters in there, but it didn't work for me in this. It didn't work for me in Iron Man 3. And it did not work with Power Rangers Turbo. You know, bless his heart to Justin. You know, when they had the kid Power Ranger, it just didn't work. But since the Turtles kind of played them off, and I actually have in my notes here too, annoying. So we had the exact same word, but just how they didn't care about him was fine. But oh my gosh, yeah, Usagi again. Tip of the cap to everybody who wrote these episodes. And if you're listening to the Shellonomics right now for the first time on YouTube or Spotify, stop whatever you're doing and check these shows out wherever you can. These, just even if you've never seen the 2012 series and you don't like the design for Usagi works so good. The violence and even the voice actor is just fabulous, and I had a good time reliving these to prep up for the episode. But now, this is one. Now, just before we get into this one, this is where I don't get sour, because I like this show. I don't want you to be on guard here, but this is what I thought the show me and you will cover down the road, Rise of the Turtles, was going to be. This episode here, Lone Rat and Cubs. This is my kind of vision. I always wanted to see what happens before. So feel free to break this one down. I want to hear your thoughts as a fan on this episode here.
Oh, yeah. As I said, Lone Rat and Cubs, this is like a prequel story. When the Turtles, they were still young, freshly mutated. Splinter was freshly mutated. He didn't know what to do. Oh, by the way, this story, it was written by Kevin Eastman, which is also pretty cool. And yeah, and we find out that Splinter is like, okay, what will I do with these little turtles? How will we survive? Then they even run into some Krang who are after them because they are mutants. So it's really cool. The baby turtles, they are so cute. I love them. And it's like just like this family dynamic. From the start, you get the feeling like Splinter is really down because he turned into a rat, but he wants to protect his little ones. And we see like them getting their names, and we even get to see the moment when Raphael like gets the crack in his front shell when he falls down as a little kid, and like little crack there. And yeah, so the main part is about like Splinter running around with the little baby turtles, like confronting the Krang, trying to hide from them until he finds the lair that they're gonna use later on. It's just mostly for the feels, because it just feels so good. Like Splinter, as I said, is like really down. I turn into a red mutant. That's bad, but I've got these babies that I gotta protect, and you really feel the love it's there, and um, wonderful, just a wonderful little one-shot story, one-shot episode, and just cute little episode. Yeah.
No, I agree. I don't know if is there a series that has more comics like this? Because you've pretty much read just about every Turtle comic there is, I believe. And do they have? I mean, the IDW opening I have read where they get the color headbands, but is there anything like this? Because I would love a world that took place with this. Just even in like the '87 show when they were showing the Foot Clan how they were coming to be, I always just would have loved to seen everything kind of like a big prequel just leading up. You know how they do that with the Wizard of Oz now? They're doing this, with the Wicked and everything. Just imagine just seeing like Shredder rising with the Foot Clan, Splinter, doing more and more training like this as the Turtles are adult, not teenagers yet, and they get to teenagers. So, are there any comics out there that I would enjoy that were similar to this story anywhere yet?
The ones that come to my mind are from the TMNT Adventures from Archie Comics.
Okay.
Because there are two stories in there that are set before the Turtles became teenagers, when they were still little. There's two stories. One is about how the Turtles got their colors, the headband colors, and another story is about how the Turtles got their weapons. So we got these little flashback stories, how this all happened, why does Donatello use the bow staff? Why does Raphael use the size? So it all comes like, okay, how did they get these weapons? And this is the first one that I can think of. I mean, there are some short stories or one-shot stories here and there from Mirage, where we see like younger turtles, and also pretty cool, pretty nice. That's the one I can think of right now.
Okay, because that's what I actually want to do soon. Is I'm hoping to get to Rise of the Turtles with you next, and then our good friend Justin Cooper from Epic Tales of the Sewers ranked the Leonardo from the Arch series as one of his favorites. So, and he said it's only about give or take 72 issues. I'm not sure if there's spin-offs or one-offs, but that's what I was actually looking to deep dive into next. So if that's included in that Archie series, oh man, I'm in for a treat. Then I have that written down. I'm excited for those. Oh, lovely. And here comes a three-parter now. Christian's going to explain why we're doing this one instead of at the end here. It's a three-parter with Raphael, Mutant Apocalypse. I love this. To me, Raphael looks like the Michael Bay movie version to a degree, and I'm okay with it. So feel free to explain what happens in these and why we're choosing to do this one instead of at the end.
Well, the Raphael Mutant Apocalypse. We're getting really into the controversial stuff there, because not everybody is happy with these episodes. We are talking about this now, like in the middle of the season, because that's how it was shown on TV. This was but it was, this three-parter was supposed to be the final 3 episodes of the show. Ciro Nielli, the showrunner, said that this is his series finale. And there's still people like fighting over, is this canon? Is this storyline canon, or is it a what if story? And the real answer is there is no right answer there, because Ciro Nielli said he wanted this to be the final storyline in his Turtles universe. But like Nickelodeon later said, no, this is just a parallel universe. It's a what if story. What could have happened? It's not really canon to the 2012 show. So it's like, what is your opinion on it? Everybody has another opinion. People are still fighting over this. It's really crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm okay with it being a series ending. Why? To me, it almost. I mean, after you break down what happens, but it's almost like a Last Ronin kind of vibe to me, in my opinion. Even though they're all here, just like he's more like the lone wolf by himself.
Yeah, I mean, I get that some people think it's really a dark ending. Like, okay, so now we're suddenly something like this big happens, and like, well, pretty much everyone is dead suddenly. Like, this is crazy. But I really think, I mean, I don't want to get too fast into this, but
Sure.
like at the end we really get this ending, like this ending shot that really feels like, okay, this is it. Now we're done with this story, we're done with this universe, and you really get the feeling that it was supposed to be the finale of the series. And but hey, everybody can do it the way they want. For me, I really think it is a
Yep.
part of this universe, because I think we can get into it
Yeah.
with the first episode, The Wasteland Warrior. Once again, I think I can go through this three
Sure.
episodes in one run, because we are thrown into a future, like 50 years in the future, if I remember correctly. And it's like this Mad Max future. It's a post-apocalyptic future. All humans and have died. There are only mutants, because like the Krang, suddenly they detonated like this gigantic mutagen bomb that like destroyed everything and turned everyone into mutants, or killed a lot of the people. Because I can say, like, we don't see Casey, we don't see April, we see no humans. They're apparently all gone. And in this post-apocalyptic future, old and withered Raphael tries to survive. He's only got one friend, and that's Donatello, who was turned into a robot because his mind was transferred into a robot, because during the mutagen explosion his turtle body died, so he turned into a robot. And nobody knows what happened to Michelangelo and Leonardo. So yeah, Raphael is like, as I said, Mad Max style, driving through this desert with the Shell Racer. And he runs into a mutant mercat called Mira, who wants to go to the paradise, which is this oasis that apparently exists. She's got like this map tattooed on her arm, and for this she looks for someone called the Holy Chalupa. So everyone is after them, because everyone thinks, okay, there's like this oasis somewhere exists, where water, where there's enough water for everyone, and we can live in peace, and so on and so forth. Which goes straight into the next episode, the Impossible Desert, where they are driving through this desert, like from other gangs and other mutants, getting away from them. And then they find the Holy Chalupa, who turns out to be an old Michelangelo. And Ice Cream Kitty is there, and Chompy is also there, who has grown really big over the last few years. And yeah, so there's once again this confrontation with this mutant clan, and there's a big fight, and in the end, Raphael gets captured. And yeah, he's fighting in this arena, and he's able to survive, and he becomes the new champion. So everybody respects him now, which brings us then to the big final fight, where the big bad guy behind everything comes out, called Maximus Kong. And it turns out that this one is none other than Leonardo, who was double mutated by the mutagen bomb and was driven insane by it. And so Raphael confronts him, is like, hey, I'm your brother, come back to me. And in the end, after like a big long fight, he comes back to his senses, and the brothers are finally reunited. They are able to find the oasis and live their life in peace together. And which brings us to the end, because we have this very, like this Kodak moment, where we see, in the end, we see like a picture of the four turtles and Splinter together, and like this photograph, and one final shot where we see for what was it, for Peter and Kevin, like last thank you to Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird. And this is the end of this storyline, and as it was supposed to be, the end of the series, which was like really a bittersweet ending. But I'm there for it. I know it's dark, but I like dark stuff when it gets darker, and it's like, okay, so this is where it all ends, and I like it. I can really live with it being the series finale, I gotta say.
I'm fine too, and I had that in my notes. I'm glad once you pointed out too the ending for Peter and Kevin. To me, that's supposed to be the series because I think they were trying to pay it forward to the 2003 Turtles Forever, where they had Peter and Kevin talking as they went out for pizza at the end of that, like, epic ending. And I think that's what it meant. It was a great drawing. This one touched my soul, actually. That's how deep this one moved me, especially being a Turtles fan for so many years. It was just great to see. It was another almost what if, like, okay, what would happen this way? Every turtle goes their own way. And did you get Land Before Time feels too in this? Like how they were looking kind of for the Great Valley, so to speak, with all the green?
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of how I felt here. Like if we had Littlefoot coming out. Really, I don't think there was anything wrong. Little by little, all the turtles were still alive in their own way. This almost could have been, I don't think they did, but I would actually read this series as a comic. Like if this was like a 5-parter, because could have been a cool comic, because just how Donatello is more of a robot, Michelangelo is more just like a happy, Zen vibing kind of dude, and then Leo is just full of rage, and then finally breaks through. And actually, I want to know, what were your thoughts on Raphael? Because to me, he looks like the Michael Bay Raphael. I don't know about you, but I just had that vibe.
Yeah, he was really like this really buff guy. Really, he looked really tough and weathered. And I mean, at the start, he's got like a beard and he looks really rough. And but hey, it works here. I mean, it's been 50 years, so of course he's changing, and it's really. Yeah, you really get the feeling he's been through a lot and he's like really weathered and really grumpy, even more grumpy than before. And I see the comparison to the Michael Bay Raphael because, like as I said, this is like the really buff, really tall guy. Yeah, I see what you mean.
Yeah, and I don't think there's anything wrong with this being the series ending. If anybody does feel this should not have been, go ahead and feel free to comment down below on my YouTube channel at Anonymous, or even Christian's channel, TMNT Dare Talk. We'll plug his channel at the end again too. Even in our Discords, we love talking turtles. We'd love to hear your views on this. I'm with you, man. This to me should have been the series finale. It's okay if it got a little dark and edgier, because it's just that's how the turtles are, and it was just so well written, because when you have a series ending like this, there's really nothing else you can do. We got enough closure. I don't feel we needed any more additional episodes with the turtles the way they were at the end of this episode, and I thought it would have been a great way to send them off.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's, as I said, the showrunner was really wanted this to be his finale, to like, okay, this is where it all ends. This is where this universe ends for now. And for that, I really see it. I really feel it.
Yeah, and they did this with a couple spots here too. Just checking our notes in the production here. This aired September 22nd, 2017. So we're right near when these shows came to be 8 years ago. It feels like it was only yesterday watching these, and I thought it was great by Nick having us not wait. There's so many shows where, well, now we live in a binging world, but, gotta wait till next week, I would have been like, oh my God, this sucks, I gotta wait a week, but they had all 3 of them right away. And now here comes, I guarantee if we had a cam on, you'd be smiling from ear to ear, because you're like, well, we've talked horror. These guys love horror, so why not have everybody from the classic horror in the Ninja Turtle verse? I feel all these 4 are kind of, along together, so feel free to break them down any way you wish. But I know you got to be a kid in a candy shop where pretty much Christmas came early for you with these next 4 episodes here.
Oh boy, that's crazy! Yeah, it's like a callback to the classic TMNT Universal Monsters
Yes.
toy line.
Yes.
Absolutely. So yeah, let's start with the Curse of Savanti Romero, and as the title suggests, yes, Savanti is back again. It's Halloween time in New York City, and the turtles are ready to go out for some Halloween, and then they realize, like, okay, something is weird here, because there are monsters everywhere. And then Renette pops in and says like, yeah, there was like a crazy stuff with Savanti Romero, and we have to go back in time to stop him because he's like flooding the city with his monsters. Like we see vampires, werewolves, a mummy, a Frankenstein's monster. Everyone is there, all the classic horror creatures. So Renette takes the turtles back to ancient Egypt because that's where Savanti Romero wants to recruit the mummy, like the pharaoh mummy. And the turtles like fight him to stop him, but well, in the end, unfortunately, Savanti is able to go with the mummy through a time portal because he has a time scepter that he took. And so, well, the turtles then, okay, what's our next stop? So they then go to Transylvania next, which, well, brings us to the next episode. But yeah, first off, what are your thoughts on the start of this storyline?
I liked it. Again, thanks for you teaching me the name Renette. I'll keep thanking you every time we do a podcast because I'm going to continue to botch that. I liked it. I thought it was great. Horror-wise, I'm not the biggest horror guy, but this is horror I can take. There's no, besides a funny Michelangelo jump scare every now and then. What I like about these episodes as we go farther into it is what we said earlier about Michelangelo is the smart one in these. Because he knows how to handle Dracula, which I thought was great because they're relying on Mikey to be the star. And once again, he's not just Mikey getting captured and screwing things up. He's quite competent in some of these episodes here. And we'll find out more as you break these down. So I love this 4-parter here.
Yeah. This brings us to the next episode, The Crypt of Dracula, where, as I said, the turtles, they get transported to Transylvania in like medieval times. And Savanti wants to really recruit for his monster squad. He wants to recruit Dracula himself, who is like really this Bela Lugosi style Dracula, like old school, pretty cool with a cape and everything. And yeah, throw a werewolf into the mix because the turtles, they meet a young woman and her father, who turns out to be a werewolf. And yeah, and during all this, Raphael gets bitten by Dracula, and he's slowly turning into a vampire himself, which gives us some crazy visuals when Raphael like turns into this bat, like into a bat, and we see like the Raphael head on a bat flying away. It's like, that's a little bit crazy. And but yeah, but well, once again, in the end, Savanti has 2 more monsters for his squad, which is Dracula himself, who's like, okay, I'm going with you now, for now. And yeah, even a werewolf and one, of course, I forgot, Raphael is now also as under control of Dracula because he was the one who created him. So he goes with Savanti too. So like, okay, where next? Let's go to Germany, where Frankenstein was or is doing his experiments. That's the next part.
Now, real quick here, how did you watch these episodes? Did you watch these weekly, or did you know what was going to happen before? 'Cause just again, you're a huge horror fan, so were you, as the wrestling people say, marking out when you were watching these? Were you in shock when they found out they were going this direction with Frankenstein coming up next?
Yeah, it was pretty surprised. I mean,
Okay.
I was watching them weekly when they came out,
Yep.
and it was I really did not expect like all these classic horror characters to come back, to come into this world, and they exist in this universe. Like Dracula is a character that apparently existed in the TMNT universe, and it's like it really surprised me. But I thought it was really, yeah, cool. As I said, it really brought back memories from the classic toy line. Like, okay, Frankenstein, Dracula, the mummy, and a werewolf. Everyone's there. And yeah, I mean, just like the turtles in their Monster Hunter gear, like Van Helsing, that also looked really cool. It was just cool, unexpected, but absolutely funny and entertaining.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, then we come to the third episode of the storyline, the Frankenstein experiment, where, as I said, the turtles go to Germany because Victor Frankenstein, has his castle there, and once again, Savanti Romero goes up to him, is like, "Hey, Mr. Doctor Frankenstein, I'm interested in your creation, Frankenstein's monster." But it's not yet created. So funny thing is that the turtles come in and they want to, of course, stop Savanti once again. But Donatello even works together with Dr. Frankenstein when they, in the end, they are able to create Frankenstein's monster, who Michelangelo calls Frankie, and it's like really got this connection there because we see that Frankenstein's monster is not really evil or anything. He does not really want to hurt people or anything. Um, but in the end, Mikey is like, "Hey, you don't have to go with him." But Frankenstein's monster is like, "But I'm a monster." It's like, there, I have no other place to go. So he goes with Savanti Romero, and which brings us back, because it's like this time loop thing, which brings us back to the start of the storyline, because they go back to the present time. And yeah, Savanti now has his monsters to, yeah, take over the city. But will the turtles be able to stop it now? We'll find out about this in the final episode of the storyline.
Yeah, it gets crazy. And did you enjoy Michelangelo having his moments here, knowing about the garlic and everything?
Yeah, but I mean, we know that Mikey is also like this movie buff, and he knows his monster movies, he knows his horror movies, he knows this stuff, and once again, I really enjoyed, like as I said, Mikey really got his moments there, just with Frankenstein's monster, like confronting him, like being a friend for him, like trying to be a friend, like, "Hey, you don't have to do this," and like he really, he's just that nice. He's like, "Hey, we can be friends, even though you're a big hulking ugly monster, but that does not mean that you cannot be good. You have a good heart." And these are the moments where like Mikey really shines, I gotta say.
Yep, and that's why I love this series, man. And we'll give our final thoughts at the end of this as a whole. But yeah, this is definitely up there as one of the greatest turtle, anything to do with turtles here creations. But we got one more here, and then we got the big Mac Daddy coming after this.
Yeah, so this is the finale of this storyline, Monsters Among Us. Like Turtles and Renette go back to present time, and yeah, unfortunately, Savanti got all his monsters. So, well, it's pretty much a big monster mash, and it's really crazy out there. We have all this werewolves, vampires, all these monsters like running around in the city, and then even Dracula confronts Cervanti because it's like, haha, I was just playing along to be a part of your gang. I wanted the time scepter, but he could not really make it work. So Cervanti is back in control, and yeah, but in the end, the turtles, they are able to defeat the monsters. They are able to, with together with Renette, defeat Cervanti. I mean, once again, this series can really be a shocker. I just remember the scene where Dracula gets defeated, where when he like gets staked through the heart. Really see getting staked through the heart and like dissolving. It's like it looks so cruel, so
Oh yeah.
cruel. Um, so yeah, once again, Savanti is defeated with his monster gang, and really like the ending when Frankenstein's monster Frankie, Renette said, "Hey, you can come with me because in our time you can live freely. It's totally okay to be unusual." So even Frankie got his happy end, and well, in the end, it was like, "Hey, it's still Halloween. Let's go for some candy. Let's have some fun after this crazy adventure through time, space, and with some monsters."
Yep. No, it was a job well done. So, did you let your kids watch these shows? Because that one was kind of gruesome with the Dracula. Were you okay with the kids watching this one?
Yeah, I mean, when this show aired, I mean, Yeah, 2007. They were a little bit older. 2017. So they were a little bit older. So like, okay, it's fine now. I mean,
Yeah.
when they were younger, we're like, this monster stuff could be a little bit spooky, but now it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, according to like we were going by how they posted these, we still agree that the other one was the ending, but we want to go out with a smile here. So, once again, we get our blast from the past heroes in a half shell here, which I was shocked. But we do have a confession and a fun story here to make before we get into these three-parters. So, for some reason here, Christian, in the United States, this actually was released before it was aired on TV out here. This actually came out in DVD in September of 2017.
Oh.
So I bought the DVD, of course, right away. Got it from Best Buy. Was supposed to watch this with like a watch date with somebody, but they were a little busy, and I couldn't wait anymore. I turned it on and told them, I'm sorry, I can't wait anymore. I gotta see this. I gotta watch it. So sorry to that person again. I know it was 8 years ago. I just couldn't wait. I was so hyped for this, and oh boy, feel free to share what happens first, and then I definitely want to spend a good 5-10 minutes breaking this down because there are just so many Easter eggs and just so many iconic, great moments here.
Oh boy. Yeah. Wanted, Bebop and Rocksteady. Yeah, this is the big crossover three-parter with the Turtles, the 2012 Turtles, and the classic 87 Turtles. And well, first off, Shredder and Crank, the 87 Shredder and Crank, they come to the 2012 dimension, and they they want to do the evil stuff, the usual stuff, and they recruit this universe's Bebop and Rocksteady. And just is like because they're so different, it's really so entertaining, and they like send them after the turtle because the 87 turtles also come to this universe and they have a big fight, and it's great scene because like the 87 turtles confront the 2012 Bebop and Rocksteady like, haha, we're no problem, but because they are a problem, they are big, they are strong, they are not as dumb as 87 Bebop and Rocksteady. So the turtles, they like get their butts kicked. And so yeah, I mean, Bebop and Rocksteady, they get even dressed up like classic Bebop and Rocksteady. It's just so there's just so much fun in this. They're just, I mean, it's just Shredder and Krang in this. They're just because they're so goofy. Don't really fit in this more serious, and it's just so much fun. And yeah, so the turtles, they have to team up. So the 8 turtles, they have to team up to stop Shredder and Krang. Um, yeah, I think I can like a little bit rush a little bit through this three-parter because it's really connected. Like the turtles, the 2012 turtles, they have to train with the 87 turtles. The second episode is called "The Foot Walks Again." They have to train together to confront Shredder and Krang and Bebop and Rocksteady. They, so they Bebop and Rocksteady, they try to steal some stuff for classic Krang and Shredder, so that they like can take over the world. Which even brings the Mutanimals into the mix. So there's like a big fight there. And yeah, well, these Bio and Rocksteady are really competent compared to the classic Bio and Rocksteady, which then brings us to the final episode, which is called The Big Blowout, which was also the title of a classic episode. And because thanks to Bio and Rocksteady's stuff, they Krang and Shredder are able to open a portal, like bring some rock creatures to this universe, which was kind of weird because they were not stone warriors or foot soldiers. They were like these little rock stone creatures. So there's a big fight in the end. And but in the end, like Impy and Rocksteady is like, okay, this is Shredder and Krang, they are not nice because they're always making fun of them. Even though they succeeded, Shredder and Krang, they were still making fun of them, like, okay, had enough. So in the end, they even teamed up with the Turtles against Shredder and Krang and stopped them. Classic Turtles go back to their universe, take Shredder and Krang with them. And 2012 Beer and Rocksteady like, okay, we don't want to be bad guys anymore because we saw that being good can be fun too. So we don't want any trouble. Don't want any trouble with the Turtles anymore. So this is also like a finale for their storyline, and this is pretty much this is the big crossover storyline, which was really so much fun. And I think I said enough for now. So take it away. What are your thoughts on this big crossover?
My gosh, dude. Well, I'm sure you had chills like I did because yes, we did see him before. But I guess I'll try and walk you through as many Easter eggs as we can. If we miss a couple, it's okay because we encourage you guys to watch it. But just the parodies again. You have Michelangelo playing a Pokemon card game with Ice Cream Kitty, which I thought was hilarious to start the show off. You get more of your Star Trek Next Generation with the slaps, like you said. I guess I just never noticed it was a running gag with the slaps until you brought that to my attention. So I always look for the slaps when they make the cartoons. And then, I mean, to start the show, though, they actually have the 1987 Technodrome, and you're like, wow. I was like, oh, is there any way there could have been a Kickstarter or a GoFundMe to have this animation? I mean, this is pretty much what we're getting in the Saturday morning adventures now in the comic because it's just so, God, technology has just come a far way, and just I love the look of the Technodrome and Krang and Shredder. I had chills though once you hear Leonardo come out because they got the great ninja grit. That's the Turtles that me and you grew up with. They weren't these, I say it all the time, they're not these happy, dopey, Seven Dwarf looking turtles. They had attitude back there. Yes, they were happy and adorable, but they still had the attitude. And to see them come out of the shadows to talk to Bebop and Rocksteady, and Cam Clark had to be thrilled as the voice actor here in the States to finally get to say a line that wasn't around, we have to do something, we have to protect the world. He's able to talk trash saying, what's the matter, guys, lost your mommy? They all come out. They even do homage to the red sky because Michelangelo uses this grappling hook and it almost gives like a red sky feel with the animation there. They want to try to find out what's going on. They finally come out here, and in Turtles Forever, I was a little disappointed at the fighting that they did, but at least here it makes sense, and they try to train them to get better with their weapon usage because, use my weapons, I could stab somebody here. So I thought those were great. All these little just Easter eggs here that you can just go on. Casey Jones's hockey stick. Did you see that? It says Kevin Eastman on the hockey stick. I had so much fun. Just obviously, big talk with 1987. For those who are unaware, that's when the original TV show came out. Obviously, you had Chrome Dome shampoo. Just Krang in the shower. That actually happened in an old cartoon. And the one I really like a lot. This just two of them I really, really enjoyed is when Karai calls the Turtles and they got the OG ringtone. If you go back on whether you're streaming it or on your DVD, hit pause when they cut back because Donatello's face is beaming with happiness when he hears the old theme song and they answer the phone. If you don't know, I want you all to go back and watch that spot because I should actually put that on our podcast on YouTube for the image because it's just so funny. Raps just has his basic sarcastic, but Donatello's like, oh my God, I love that song. I thought that part was awesome. Breaking down too, just because me and you have seen the original cartoon so much, they even paid homage to the hardcore fans who always say, why is Raphael talking when it's Michelangelo's animation? Why is Leonardo talking when it's Donatello's animation? They even do it in this episode here. They have, I was like, oh my, and it's on purpose. Michelangelo's talking when Raphael is actually speaking. I mean, who actually pays attention to this? Us hardcore fans. I love this stuff. I thought they did a phenomenal job with the foot soldiers. When they were robots, they were competent, but they were kind of going off one by one with the booby traps. Bebop and Rocksteady getting the old school, colors and costumes. Rocksteady getting the helmet. I think a lot of us old fans really appreciate Season 1 Turtles. The helmet on Rocksteady fits them better. It makes them look more, I guess, just intimidating compared to without the helmet. And I hope one of us can get the voice actor of Shredder on one of our podcasts one day because I want to ask him how much fun he had. Because this was the Shredder from the 2012 series voice in Shredder, right?
Yeah, it was Kevin Michael Richardson
Oh my
But he
god.
did such a phenomenal job. Like he was really channeling his James Avery. It was he really had a blast.
Yeah, with all the alliteration, even the other Easter egg that I talked to you about before we went live in the Discord, just where they go out for job interviews and put an ad in the paper, and Bebop's like, "Hey, this ain't 1987 anymore. You can't diss us. We have rights." And on the contract, what are the two names? James Avery and the voice of Krang, Pat Fraley. Just little stuff like that hardcore fans of Turtles nostalgia appreciate. Action was good. A couple other funny things, like Leonardo again. Cam Clark. I want to say, I mean, it was great hearing Rob, Towney, and Barry, but I think Cam Clark had the most fun, just because they're always trying to take over the world or turn us into balloons, which kind of happened in Michelangelo's birthday episode when they blew up.
Yeah.
So I really don't think there was anything else they could have done here. It was great seeing him in the OG, animation, and at the end, maybe that's why the higher ups, I put in quotation marks here, you can't see my fingers, wanted this to be the ending of the series, because the final words are Bebop, I just want to dance, and everybody's happy. So maybe they wanted to set it out with a happier feeling instead of a soul touching series finale. But yeah, did you have a favorite Easter egg here of all the ones that you saw here?
I mean, I really think of the way when Bebop, Rocksteady, and Shredder and Krang, they're meeting for the first time in this diner, and Bebop or Rocksteady is handing in his paper, and it's all in crayons. It's just so great. And yeah, as I said, like Shredder and Krang, when the Turtles, they were caught, and they were like, and now we're making fun of them. And Bebop and Rocksteady are just standing there like, what's wrong with these guys?
Oh man, yeah.
It's just, yeah. Why don't we just shoot them? So no, we don't do this.
Yeah, just all the gloating, and and what's great is just too is because they made our generation dim-witted like the show was, but they at least honored the technology. Like when they gave Bebop and Rocksteady the weapons, it was like, ooh la la, let's play with this toy, and it was quite dominant. I also want to say I'm with you on the Stone Warriors. I know that that's how they looked in the Nick show, but I would have been cool if they showed the OG General Trag. I always liked that character. I thought it would have been great to see him, from the '87 show to present day. But yeah, that's it, guys. The 2012 series is closed here now. We've recapped all 5 seasons. Oh, what a show, dude. I have had so much fun reliving these episodes this past month, watching them all, getting the nostalgia, the Easter eggs. What's like some of your final takeaways from this show as a whole?
Yeah, man. I remember when this show was first announced, people had some doubts. I was also like,
Including
can Nickelodeon make it work? It's like, I mean, some people said like, okay, now they're doing like the TMNT and SpongeBob style or anything.
Yeah, I called them Gumbies. I called them Gumby. Gumby.
Yeah. But I was also like, but also Nickelodeon did serious stuff like Avatar, The Last Airbender, stuff like this. They can really do serious stuff, and they really excelled my expectations. This show is like, it's different. They did their own thing. They did their own version of the Turtles, of other characters, like interpretations, like how they did with how Shredder was, like Karai, how Karai was in the story, or even like other characters that they later brought in, like how did it, I don't know, Mondo Gecko, Slash, Leatherhead, Han, and so on and so forth. So much callback to previous Turtles versions, and they always had this balance between totally funny, totally goofy, but on the other hand, totally serious, and it was serious when it needed to be. The action, dude, the action is so phenomenal. And once again, at first, like, CGI is a bit problematic, but they did so much with it that you cannot do in 2D animation, or it's hard to do in 2D animation. Like when we have fighting scenes and the camera is just flowing around the characters, jumping from side to side, and kicks and punches. and it's so dynamic. It's so great. And as I said, it gets really dark sometimes that I did not expect. The longer the show went on, I mean, we get characters get killed, characters lose some limbs, and yeah, it's just a great show overall. And I really tell people like check it out. Check it out. If you think like the art style, I'm not really into it. It's like okay, I see what you mean, but give it a shot, give it a try. The characters, the story arcs that we get, it's really just really so much behind it. It's so funny at times. It gets so serious. It gets so pumped with action, and it's really a great show overall. Even if you're not a TMNT fan, I can really recommend it. In my opinion, it really is so much more than I thought it would be, and it's really up there with the best TMNT shows, I gotta say.
I agree. If it wasn't for the 2003 show, this would be my number one. And I would not argue with anybody. If anybody comments or says, hey, man, this is the best show out there, I would not argue. There is no argument because it has something for everybody who's a Turtle fan. This is the only show that caters to every fan. You want to have your favorite comedian or somebody that's a celebrity here? They got you with cameos. You want to relive your glory days of the old Ninja Turtles? They take care of you. Like you were saying, if you're a horror fan, you could pretty much make a whole season out of horror episodes. Every time you were on it, and I appreciate you showing, yeah, this one was almost like Friday the 13th. This one was more Freddy Krueger. This one's more like Saw. You have iconic voice actors in Mark Hamill on this show. Rob Paulson from Raphael returns. And what's great is this show went out on top. You know, there's a lot. It's, I don't, no disrespect to Disney, but I use this term on my own. I call it Disneyfied, where they just run stuff into the ground sometimes, and then it's like, it just kind of kills it. Or if there's a popular hit song, you hear it too much and they overkill it. This show was not overkill. They knew they hit their peak and they walked out on top. Even when Shredder was gone, I mean, in my mind, it's like, well, how can they make this even better? Like, where are they going to go from here? And they did it beautifully. And I'm with you. The Mutant Apocalypse is still a beautiful send-off to the show, especially the thank you to Peter and Kevin at the end. Anything I would add? Of course, I would have loved the 2D show, but like you were saying, this works. Give it a chance. You don't even have to watch every episode if you don't want to. You can pick and choose. There's Usagi Yojimbo episodes we talked about in Season 5. There's Triceratons. And the other thing that you always mention, too, that what makes for a great show is continuation and story development. How many times did we see it in this series, right? Where they're either going for a quest and they have to pick up pieces. I mean, is there, I guess, did you have a favorite episode? Like, I guess this will probably be an interesting one. If you could pick just one episode for somebody to be like their gateway drug episode here, which one would it be?
The first one that comes to mind is because I would say like a little bit at the start, like not like in the middle of the show, like throw him into like a little bit at the start, like, so that he can really go into the show, and that would be the
Gauntlet,
the episode.
Is that what it's called? The Gauntlet? Like
The
first
Gauntlet is fantastic.
Okay.
But I would even start earlier with the episode with the first episode. I can't remember the title. With Chris Bradford, the first episode when Michelangelo befriends Chris Bradford. Yeah, because I would think that's like, because it's funny. It's really a little bit heartbreaking at times. But the action, like the final fight between the Turtles, Bradford and Sever, I remember when I saw that the first time, when they were in the sewers fighting, like the choreography, the martial arts, I was blown away by it. This was the moment when I was like, okay, this show really has me. If it can give me action scenes like this, I'm so sold. And I think like really, this is like, give him this episode, like, okay, now I want to see the next episode. I really think that you can really go from there. That's what I think. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one, dude. That's a real good one. You have shocking death here. I still can't believe Splinter died. Not once, but twice. Shredder gets the best of Splinter multiple times. Good character, good emotional. You can let out a couple cries and it's okay. There's no shame in crying in this one because it's gonna make you cry depending how deep you get with this show. It's gonna make you laugh. It's gonna give you jaw-dropping shocks. I really don't think there's anything missing. I feel this show has aged very well. It's been 8 years now since it's been gone, and it's left its mark. There's tons of merchandise still. They just made the 2012 NECA toys for this we talked about, and I'm pretty sure if somebody collects, there's going to be a ton they can do with these. They might even make the 87 toys in the 2012 verse. They could. I think those would be cool toys to see. They got video games that have lived on. Just an arcade game. So, yeah, I really don't think you guys are... I think you're missing out if you don't give this show a try, wherever you can find it. And like you were saying, too, just the passion behind this. Every season, I believe you said, gets a new theme song and a new spin-off of an old 80s cartoon or something. Oh, that was the other thing, too, was... in the flashback, the crossover where Leonardo's like, wow, your guys, it's a cartoon, and us, it was real life with the Star Trek for Space Heroes.
Yeah.
So... oh, boy, dude, I can't thank you enough for this, Christian. That is going to close the books here on our 2012 recaps. Christian, I know you've been I don't know if you've broken down any of these episodes, but you definitely have way more Turtle nostalgia that somebody can have even if they're driving to work and they just want to hear somebody who's talking Turtles, who's very knowledgeable. Where can they find you?
Well, you can hear more of me on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles The Talk, which is my podcast, where I have German episodes because I'm from Austria, but I also do English episodes where I break down some newer stuff, like the newest comics and so on and so forth, but also go back to classic TMNT stuff like the 2003 show, classic cartoon show, and so on and so forth. So might check it out on Apple Podcast, on Spotify, TMNT The Talk, or just go to website tmnttalk.com, where you can also find all the social media stuff, because you can find me pretty much everywhere. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, doesn't matter. I'm everywhere. You cannot escape me. And if you want to talk Turtles or have something to say, I also encourage you to join the Discord of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles The Talk. I'm always up to talk Turtles. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Come on over.
Yeah, especially we'd love to hear your thoughts, guys, in Christian's Discord about if you thought this was a good ending, if the show got too dark or too edgy. I thought it was perfect. That's probably the one word to describe the show as perfect, in my opinion. There's really nothing wrong. You get everything, good voice acting, good storyline, good weapon usage, good comedy. It's a 10 out of 10 in my book. So that does it here, guys. Hopefully we'll see Christian real soon. We're going to try and keep the Tales vibe going here, and hopefully real soon we'll be able to break down the Tales of the Ninja Turtles in the comic verse.
Sounds good. Count me in.